This telecast is copyrighted by Hometown 24 for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this game without the express written consent of Hometown 24 is prohibited.
Brought to you by Double Quick, Key Chicago Bankruptcy Express, Hometown Pharmacy and Hazard, Mountain Health Alliance, TPBT Bancorp, Primary Care Centers, Kentucky Farm Bureau Whitesburg, and Heidi Hoffensberger Law.
You know what? Let me get a drink. Let me get a drink of this Alani.
Where are you going?
Hang on, I just got to get this, just this one hit.
It's not a sponsor.
I got this at Double Quick.
Oh, there we go.
That's true.
There we go. That's
we're coming to you live for the first time ever.
It's beautiful here.
Baxter, Kentucky, and the home of the Harlan County Bears.
It's the first time I knew the name of this place. Baxter.
A lot of people don't. I know because as I mentioned to Coach Jim McCauley just before the segment, that when we finally are here to this point, that I've not ran, but I've coached many a track meet here. And this is the nicest weather here
You ride bicycles, you know.
I've ever had. Shout out Coach Ryan Vitito, does an amazing job with track and field and cross country here at Harlan County.
It is getting cold.
It's getting a little chilly, so maybe I spoke too soon. But last time, there's been times I've been here and it's snowing. Man, we are blessed and fortunate and probably a little lucky that we are here tonight. Literally 2 minutes ago, Josh Cornett, our producer, was running a extension cord under the bleachers along a fence. It's been madness. Just before we were going to start at 6:30, Brady looked up and said, "Hey, somebody's rolling our cord up."
Shout out to Harlan.
She was just
Josh
helping.
Just ran under the bleachers. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty great. It was a spectacle. And here we are on time. What you can't get rid of us. You can't get rid of us.
Hate that we missed last week. You know, and wow, we look up and there's 2 weeks. You know, we're looking at 2 weeks left of regular season for Kentucky high school football. And it's like, man, here we are. We're getting ready to start talking about Halloween and playoff football. And it's here.
We're already talking about Halloween.
Absolutely. All right, so first up, as we move through quickly, we are about 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
As we move through quickly for tonight, Harlan, Kentucky.
I don't think we'll ever leave here. Alive.
Speaking of staying alive, the Cats are first up in our feature segment of Kentucky football, Cat Talk. Wow.
I think this segment's going to be short.
Out of the bye week, do we have a shot against Texas, who just got beat by Florida? You know, Texas is down. Arch Manning hasn't lived up to the hype
Yet.
Hype.
He's pretty hyped. He's hyped.
And then, of course, this week, a little bit of news, like maybe that Valtech may be interested in our boy Stoops.
And Franklin may be interested in Kentucky, that's fine with me. That's okay.
That's fine.
That's okay. Love you, Stoops. Bye.
All right, so James Franklin, maybe their potential is there. I don't know. New name possibly to the list. I don't know. Stoops gone. Who knows? Do we have a chance tomorrow?
Basketball school.
Which takes us on to our Friday rerun. Big Blue Madness was this past week.
Basketball school.
Basketball stuff coming up for Kentucky. And who knows, we may expand BTW beyond
VTW. Now you're setting it up. See, it wasn't just me.
Football.
It wasn't just me. We're here.
It's like one of those things, if you speak it, it comes true. Write that down.
Beyond Football's the name of the show.
The Friday that was last week, as unfortunately we were not here in the Friday rerun, but we're here now. And so we're going to tell you what happened last Friday night in Kentucky high school local coverage area football. I reckon that Letcher scored several points.
They scored a little bit. They scored some. And there were some other teams that scored some. But Letcher scored more.
Letcher put up 71.
So a 50 is a burger. What is a 70?
We had this conversation on the way over. Could you consume?
Oh, you think it's a 70 nuggets?
Yeah.
What if you eat a nugget for a nugget a point? Would they score 74?
Yeah.
71? Yeah, 71. We can do 71 nuggets.
I think that's an awesome
25 and a half a piece.
food challenge. Is like maybe we go to a Letcher Central.
And then the kids eat the rest.
Maybe we go to a Letcher Central game. Like tonight, Powell, that would be a great one. Maybe me and you stop at McDonald's on the way home and just gather up like 200 nuggets, and we listen on the radio on the way home, and every point that Letcher scores, we have to eat a nugget.
We get dipping sauce?
I personally will probably skip the dipping sauce because that takes up extra space, but
Oh. Well, yeah, but I think after like 30, you're gonna have dry mouth.
Do you dip
we
it
don't
in
have
water?
time. We don't have time. We don't have time.
Letcher scores a few points more than McGoffin, 71-28. Perry
40 burger.
finding their stride. Every team in the local coverage area putting up several points as they dominate over Whitley, and a little bit of a surprise here, 42-6. We're going to talk more about Perry coming up very shortly. Breathitt, no surprise, as we called weeks ago. They were coming out of a bye week. Breathitt dominates at Morgan 47-0.
Not scoring, that kind of stinks. But 47, 40 burger and a goose egg.
So it keeps going. Local coverage area teams, 71, 42, 47. Then Hazard off the snide wins a district game versus Paintsville. I hung out with Coach Chandler last weekend at a wedding for a minute. Shout out to Coach Chandler and family.
Shout out weddings.
Shout out weddings. Had a great time. Congratulations to the Adams family and the Wampler family. No, not that. Adams
Shout out
family.
Jenkins Amphitheater.
Yep. Shout out. Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Hazard wins in that district game versus Paintsville, hanging up 56. Now, I know I could eat 56 now.
50 sandwich.
I know I could. Could I eat 50 McChickens? No.
You could eat 50 pieces of chicken out of McChickens.
That's a lot.
You can do it.
Not over Leslie as the scores continue to roll, 32-12.
They're not over Leslie. They were over Leslie. Not over Leslie.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. They are not. We
They're
did
not.
this earlier.
No, they're not.
32-12.
Touchdown
scored 12
rundown. Considering all those points scored in those several, we're moving fast tonight,
So
Jeremiah.
many scores.
Tonight in our touchdown rundown segment, we're going to go over all those points scored by all those local coverage teams, and we're going to shout out some great games that were played by individuals across the local coverage area.
Familiar names.
And speaking of local coverage area, I do want to kind of mention the fact that, of course, Roger Fannin, one of the founders of HD24, and of course a person that we would thank for helping make this possible tonight, even though we were in this crazy rush and didn't have power leading up to the moment that we came on. And people were running up under the bleachers trying to unplug and plug in this. I don't know. There's
40 years.
It's a war over here. 40 years.
40 years.
And we're here for you. Mr. Fannin, he will be with you at halftime up with our guys. Of course, Coach Brian Johnson, Coach Manus Blair, and Coach Jim McCauley will be in the booth tonight. That's about the best team we could put together.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. And you were there. If you were there, it'd be better.
Well, I mean, we're here. We're here.
We are here.
Yeah, we're here. Don't forget that.
I forget about that.
We're here. We were trying not to be here. We're here. Touchdown, rundown, and all those points scored in the local coverage area. And, of course, we kick it off with famed Letcher quarterback Gunnar Holbrook. 2 passing touchdowns.
2 more passing. Garrett Howard had 15 rushes, 269 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. That's an insane game.
I'm not great at math. But when I read that stat today of 269 169 yards.
On 15 carries.
On 15 carries, I was like,
What is that average? Do that math.
well,
math
10 would be 150.
I can't even handle it.
20 would
It's
be
crazy.
300. So he almost averaged,
17 yards, 15 yards.
yeah, he's somewhere between that number.
Nuts. That's nuts. A carry. 15 yards, a carry.
More than that.
More than that, somewhere in there.
Let's call it 20.
Okay.
That is nuts.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. It's 20 yards a carry. So shout out Garrett Howard, one of the guys that we mention over and over and over in this show. We're interested if Garrett's gotten looks. Can please, Howard family, please let us know.
If we had a college, we'd sign him.
Absolutely. If I started a team, what was the name of that team that was fake that played on
Oh,
ESPN?
that old. It was a bunch of grown men.
Yeah.
Like, played against the high school kids.
Yeah, like, what
Beat
was
the snot out of them. Yeah, beat them to death.
Yeah.
They made the school up. Nobody
Oh, it
batted
was
them.
like Bishop something.
Yeah, old Bishop veteran. It was like 35-year-olds. They were smoking on the field.
Yep, Bishop Mayking, Garrett, consider yourself signed. All right, another person I would sign, Brett Sturgill, 107 yards on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns. It's like the thunder lightning of the Letcher Central backfield. Brett also had 1 catching,
That's insane. Mason Stevens had a catching.
which is no surprise. Thaden Brown in a type of touchdown that we love. A few of those coming up here shortly, but an interception return for a touchdown.
Pick
Mr.
six.
Thaden Brown.
Parker Maggard had 2 throwing touchdowns.
And players that we're going to see featured tonight on the field coming through your screen in our primetime game. Josh Miller had 100 yards rushing and, of course, a running touchdown.
Bryson Johnson had 100 yards and a running touchdown as well.
Caden Barton had a running touchdown as well.
Running touchdown? Rushing?
Rushing.
You were in a hurry. You were rushing when you put this here.
I was in a hurry when I made this.
He was running. Did you say Caden Barton? Tyler Robinson had 2 catching touchdowns?
And Keegan Cecil. And this is crazy.
Oh, it's awesome.
We had not had this type of touchdown up until tonight.
That's something different.
That's wild. So shout out to Keegan Cecil, who had a punt return for a touchdown.
Awesome. Miles Harlan, 267 yards, 4 throwing.
Miles Holland coming, he's growing right before our eyes into what we figured, really him and Eli Thomas and this, the specialty players of Breathitt County. And obviously you want to shout out the big hog mollies in the middle and block them for these guys. But, Miles Holland, Eli Thomas, of course, had 2 rushing to go with Miles.
Is it John Holland, right? And then Jason Combs had 2 catching touchdowns.
Yep, and Holland had 100 yards catching to go on with it. And then, of course,
Another one.
crazy enough, Adam Spencer had a punt return touchdown.
There's
So-
nothing more exciting than those, man. Interception return is great, but like punt, you're expecting nothing to happen, and like just everybody go get you a drink or something, and everybody's cheering. God, that's awesome.
Kick returns, punt returns, and we love, of course, a fumble bumble. No fumble bumbles tonight.
Oh, that's sad.
Yep.
Murph Shoptall.
Love it.
Shoptall, my favorite name to say, 224, 4 throwing. You get to say his name a lot.
Continuing to ball out. Cameron Miller, 141 yards on the ground and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Race Linden had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Gavin Johnson, no surprise, had 1 catching.
Javian Fullwood.
Yeah,
Javion Fullwood. Catching touchdown.
good young player for the Dogs. Cameron Miller with also a catching touchdown.
You get all the good names tonight. Max Kilburn. You gave me all the good names. Max Kilburn had a catching touchdown.
We're going to mention Max again later on in the show, so you'll want to pay attention. Max, kind of like a fan favorite here, HT24. Braden Holland in the touchdown for the Leslie County Eagles. 1 passing, no surprise there, is a dual threat quarterback for the Eagles.
Brendan Lumadou.
I love that.
Lumadou, it's great. Next time, 1 catching.
Love it. And then Aiden Carr, the second of our punt, actually the third of our local coverage area punt return touchdowns.
Have we said his name before?
Yeah, Aiden Carr. Yeah, we have. And we're going to mention his name again later.
Awesome.
Yep.
Connor Napier, 5 for 7. 3 touchdowns.
So, I mean, he completes 5 passes, and how nice is it that 3 of those
I'd be interested to see what those plays were. If they were like from the goal line or if they were just deep. I'm interested in the whole thing.
Me too. Like 3 of your 5 passes are for touchdowns.
Beautiful.
I find that extremely interesting. Shane Gibson, a name very familiar to this list, 185 yards on the ground and a rushing touchdown.
Preston Shepard had a rushing touchdown.
And then, of course, Michael Gibson, a name very, very familiar to the list with 2 catching touchdowns.
And Chance Ambergy had a receiving touchdown.
A show favorite, Chance, with the catching touchdown, which takes us to moving on from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the football field.
Get 'em.
The tackle box, which has nothing to do with
Fishing, actually. We do the fishing. An average 15 tackles.
everything to do with tackling.
Just tackles.
Isaiah Wilkinson,
tackles.
13 tackles.
Jace Ambergy with 10.
And mind you, it is worth mentioning Bryce and Jace, too, are on the state leaders list of tackles on the year. So you young bucks keep
This
piling them up,
coverage area
baby.
has so many top 25 dudes.
Absolutely. And one of those guys we keep mentioning, Mr. Aiden Carr, I believe that's a senior leader for the Leslie County Eagles with 18 tackles.
Boy tired. Your boy tired. Ran back a punt touchdown and 18, or ran back a punt return for a touchdown and had 18 tackles.
Yep.
That's a hard day.
Getting it done.
Braden Barnett had 9.
And then Gavin Johnson, who we have mentioned over and over, is like, he's been on this list twice. You know, these guys, they show up on the list not once, but 2 times, right? And so Gavin Johnson not only leading the way in the receiving area for the Dogs, but also in the tackling with 9 tackles.
And Tyson Riley had 10.
And then to round us out on the tackle box for tonight, Brody Griffith had 10.
Brody Griffith with 10. Colton Stidham with 10, too. 10 too. 10 also.
10 as well.
That's what we're saying.
We have a special edition of, hang on.
I hope they cut that.
Heavies. I don't think we can. We finally got power. Don't attempt to cut anything.
This is life. This is Heavy's Hogs, but the Hogs that are doing all the dirty work are not the linemen this week.
I love this.
It's the feet. It's the kickers.
I love it.
It's the kickers. We got 2 kickers that went 100%. Emma Adams, shout out my girl Emma, 7-7, and then Max Kilburn went 8 for 8.
I love that.
That's
Max,
crazy.
I love that Max has a catching touchdown and he goes 8 for 8. Like he caught the touchdown, doesn't even go. It's like Otani after he's done pitching and batting leadoff. He don't even go to the sideline. He just walks over there, like grabs a ball like and hands it to the holder, and he's like, okay, let's go kick. I don't know if that's what they do.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
He don't even come off the field. Like he scores, he reaches the football
awesome.
to the official, and then the official reaches it right back to him, and he goes and sets
I love it. I think it's wonderful.
That's what he does. So Max Kilburn, shout out on a great game, man. And I do, and the reason I think we're doing this tonight, I was, we obviously were off last week. I was at home. I got to be home last weekend, and I watched Eastside Virginia versus Ryco, Virginia, 2 very good football teams in Southwest Virginia. And I watched these 2 teams attempt PATs.
And couldn't get them.
Bro, I mean, they didn't make it up. They didn't make it up. I don't know. You all can't see this padding that goes up the field. Like the ball literally just hit the padding.
Well,
didn't even make it to the crossbar.
And we have kickers at every level. They're kicking at middle school level. They're kicking, the high school has, the JV has a kicker. The varsity has a kicker. It's awesome.
I feel confident that nobody from Eastside or Ryco will watch this. But it's factual.
No, you're not saying anything defamatory.
It's factual.
They didn't make their field goals.
Shout out to
LCC did make their field goals. Max Kilburn made 8.
Shout out to Emma and Max being perfect from the PAT.
Perfect.
Which takes us on beyond Heavy's Hogs, rolling around in the mud here, kicking the ball a little bit. We are moving on to prime time.
That was tough.
Prime time preview. as we are coming to you live for the first time that I know of, HT24 beyond the local coverage area to cover Perry and Harlan.
It's beautiful here, man.
It's beautiful.
I love it here. It's gorgeous here. This game's gonna rock. I wish we were staying for this game, but we gotta go listen to all the games on the way home.
It's fun. These Friday nights with Hometown 24, I mean, a blast, because me and Heavy D is going to leave here, listen to games on the radio. We're going to stop and eat. I think we're going to try to see if the Cumberland Saison is open.
Let's go.
And we're not sure.
Best pizza.
I tried to pitch the Harlan Racks, which is supposedly the last one left in the world.
In the world, yeah.
And Whitney said no.
Yeah, it's not good.
She don't like roast beef. All right. So will the Doors leave Harlan alive? How was that?
Out of what? Out of 5 or 10?
10.
3.
Ah! Which I went 10 because
I was going to say 3 way.
Well,
so you said 5.
No. All right. So Harlan County, of course, the home team tonight, and it is senior night.
That's already over.
And it's already over. They had this thing like really early. Yeah, almost hit somebody in the parking lot that was leaving senior night. But anyway.
You don't have to tell people that.
Sorry.
You talk too much.
And then I parked illegally. Harlan County comes.
I don't know why he does.
They're home. They've been here, but they're 4-3 on the year. Really more of a rushing attack from Harlan County. You look at the schedules, and they've played similar schedules, but the only common opponent they have is South Laurel, and that doesn't count for anybody because South Laurel is dominant. Yeah. So
they have similar stats, though.
They do have similar stats in that both of these teams rely heavy on the rush attack. So it'll be interesting to see if like our long situations happen that kind of force either of these teams to really pass the ball. But, of course, 153 points scored for the Harlan County Bears. They've allowed 169, which tells me that the wins that they've had have been competitive and the losses they've had maybe a little blowouts. But that happens when you play South Laurel and Corbin on your schedule thus far. And you got to think that plays well for them tonight in playing a Perry team who obviously isn't South Laurel and Corbin here at home.
But Perry shows up, with something to prove, right? And feels like they're going to play them hard. Similar, I think you're going to see a lot of pounding the ball tonight. Probably the game will probably be over quick. Everybody's just going to pound it and try to get out of here.
Right. I will say the game will be over quick, not in the sense that there's a bunch of points and it's going to be a runaway.
Sorry. In the traditional football sense, the game will be over quick because there'll be no incomplete passes.
Exactly. Both of these teams are going to absolutely just run the ball. It's
time of possession is probably the secret to this game, right? The team that wins time of possession is probably going to win this game.
I agree. If you can grind out first downs, you're probably going to win this football game. Looking down the list here as far as passing is concerned, Harlan does have just an edge, 300 yards in the air on the year with 5 touchdowns in the air, led by Mr. Braden Morris. Shout out to Braden Shelton, my coworker who played football here at Harlan County and told me that the run out by the Harlan County Bears is the best in the land. There she is. She's over here. Kelsey Holbrook, shout out. She's here. Just watched her play volleyball the other night. So Braden Morris leading the passing game. Also, dual threat